I've been recording for like a minute.
All right. Oh, Jay, we got an intern.
Who's the intern?
Hey, Google, say hi.
Hi.
There she is. There she
nice.
is. Double D was like, I can't fuck this intern.
Well, you could, but
It'll just be awkward, and like, don't do that, because then I would have to find a new one because you dissed her, like you ghost her after a few, like
it'll be awkward whenever I come around.
yeah, like
people can't be in the same room.
I don't.
We'll have to go to Siri.
Who do you think's hotter, Google or Siri?
Google. Fuck Siri.
Siri just sounds
Alexa.
hot.
I don't know,
Alexa probably
but
sounds
Google
hot, yeah.
Alexa does sound like the sexiest.
Do you think sex robots are gonna have Alexa?
I just seen an article about sex robots, kind of taking over the Sexosphere pretty soon.
Can you guys explain a little bit more?
This is a dangerous groups that we're dealing with now.
No filter.
No filter.
No filter.
No filter.
Welcome to No Filter.
The No Filter,
No filter.
The No Filter Podcast, which is
an EMP network production.
in this show you'll encounter nothing but
Straight talk. No PC.
No PC
No PC consistency
Please note that the
opinions from the host.
are not a reflection of the EMP network. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening.
Thanks for listening,
Thanks for opening up your ears and your minds.
and we hope you like this one.
Hold on. Did you say the Sexosphere?
The Sexosphere.
Get Brittany as the intern.
All the 90s.
All right.
yes.
All right. Now we're all on our own different waves. I put everything on the same wave. I'm going to try to chop that up later.
You may drown off of this wave. Ooh.
First off, don't ever look at a grown man and say that they're going to drown from anything that you do.
Choke on it,
What is wrong with you, man? What is wrong with you? Yeah, but what's wrong with Sexosphere? I kind of like that.
It's pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah.
Sexosphere?
Sexist.
Sexist?
Sexist.
O-U-S.
Sexist.
Sex O-U-S. S-E-X-O-U-S-P-H-E-R-E.
What the fuck is that?
So mad
Sexosphere.
that
What
you
is
knew how to
I think
spell
you
that
can
so
shorten
quickly,
that up.
and
Take
you
the-
just made that up.
US out and just put Sexosphere.
So S-E-X-O-P-H-E-R-E.
No, Sexosphere.
Oh, Sexosphere.
Is that where the sex is so good you go to a higher level?
No, that's where the sex is so good you're in circles.
Is it passionate?
What the?
Sphere. Shut the fuck up.
I can't
The
get over
funniest
it.
thing is he started staring at me like waiting for, is it passionate?
Waiting for a reaction. Yeah, like
Just waiting to slip it in.
You had to do it, Dick. Oh, man. What the fuck are we doing? Oh, yeah. We're recording a podcast.
We are recording a podcast.
Hey, everybody.
how did
Welcome
I
to the
get
No
here?
Filter Podcast. I'm your host, Remorseless. I'm here with Double D,
Ooh, what's up?
J Bell,
Sexosphere.
and Art,
howdy.
the Quiet Storm.
Drowning men in waves since 1985.
But
Art,
it's
you definitely
87.
look like you drowned a man or
87?
two.
Oh, sorry.
So you were drowning people 2 years before you were born.
Apparently, yes.
Oh, okay. Damn, that's a talent. That's a talent. How's everybody doing, man? What's going on?
I'm fucking terrible. Thanks for asking, Remorseless.
Oh,
Art
jeez.
Art came in with fried chicken.
Wait a
from
minute.
Buffalo
Whoa,
Wild Wings
wait,
and just
wait.
started smashing.
Wait,
He
it's-
didn't offer anybody
It's not
anything.
fried. Are you serious?
dirty.
I'm sorry,
Chicken
but it was still
wings.
chicken.
It's chicken. Yeah. So
Yeah, you didn't offer anybody anything.
I'm sorry. You
You
guys
just
want
sat there
some?
and like ate 9 of them in front of us.
It's like 10 in the morning.
And then start
he's
bragging
eating
about being hungry.
teriyaki wings.
Bitch, nobody had breakfast.
I ate breakfast.
I didn't.
I didn't have anything.
It's the most important meal of the day.
the most
guys.
important meal.
That is
hungry,
not
man.
fucking true at all.
It honestly depends on your metabolism, but for most people, it is the most important meal of the day.
90% of my life, I did not eat breakfast.
What? Is that what's wrong with you? We can trace it all back
Is that
to
why
that.
you like passionate porn?
His whole
Just gonna
life,
walk
he's
past
just
that one.
he has this subconscious yearning for breakfast, and it just manifests itself. And
You know, some of the
hotel.
porns do have breakfast. Like they eat breakfast. Like
Here
they'll
we
be
go.
eating toast and drinking coffee.
What
And then like,
the fuck?
you hold on. So you don't like porns with stories?
No, because I
No.
don't watch all that passionate
It is
shit.
so no. It's not passion. It's so funny. Like where they're like. Because they're such horrible actors and actresses. Like they'll knock on
And
the
you
door,
sit there and you watch
it's
the
like,
whole thing?
Hello, man.
I get to the part that I
have
need
pizza.
to. Time.
I
Yeah.
have a pizza. And
He's
she's
watching
like,
it.
Oh yeah. Does that pizza have meat on it? And he's like, yeah, this pizza has meat.
Are you aroused this entire time?
he's like,
You just
"Oh,
captured
yeah."
every single horrible porn movie ever with that statement.
And then it
Oh, yeah,
flips.
give me that meat
and next
pizza.
thing you know, she takes her titties are out, and I'm like, how did that happen? So like, I want to see how he got from the meat conversation to the titty conversation. Why did they edit that out?
You're looking at plot holes in the.
Exactly. I cannot believe you watched the entire story.
He's like, that's a
This
blooper
isn't
right there.
this isn't masturbating porn. This is just hilarious porn. Like
No, it's
there's
not.
such
It's-
horrible.
You're aroused the entire
Oh
time.
no! Like if I want to beat off, I'll watch like Holly Michaels or Harley Dean or something like that. Like there's no conversation in that.
Do you beat off with your mouth open?
What?
Whoa!
What kind of question
wait a
is
minute,
that?
I mean, do you like? I want to know because I realize that I do, and I'm usually slobbering.
I've never
So
heard
you're
that even
giving
brought up
yourself the
before.
O face.
I'm so yeah. I'm like
Oh my
yeah,
God.
exactly, the O face.
Oh man!
Wow, I've never even heard that brought up.
I'm
before in
sorry, man.
conversation.
It's something I
So
realized
is
recently.
it like right before the money shot? You're like like Kawhi.
I'm
Leonard
like
laughing?
stunned the entire
Why does
time.
he
Like
sound like a fucking zombie?
He sounds like Kawhi Leonard.
Zombiegasm.
Zomgasm.
Pizza. So I'm sorry. Just to go back, you mentioned that there was porn with like toast and coffee.
Yeah, they have like breakfast in the morning.
Starbucks.
Is that where like she's making coffee and then she's like,
She's like,
he's
I have
do you want
coffee
some
for
sausage with that?
you. Yeah, like it's one of those situations.
Would you
It's
like
so funny.
sugar and cream?
I can't hear
Let me
the other
stir
two
that
very
with
well.
my cock.
I'm recording.
So am I. I'm gonna edit all of that banter in. Let's just move on.
Okay.
We need a joke. What's the opposite of Christopher Walken?
No, not this again.
That is so funny. It's
Not,
so funny.
not even a good joke.
It is. Double D, you were on your knees.
Praying
laughing.
that I didn't have to hear that joke ever again.
When he heard that joke, when I first told him in the parking lot, he was on his knees.
Easy. That had nothing to do with the joke.
Thank you. I was laughing. I couldn't pause that one. Whoa, wait, what?
Nothing. Let's move on.
I got
moving
some,
on.
I got some fake news if you guys are interested.
Oh, it is
Yeah.
time.
What time is it?
Welcome to 5 Minutes of Fake News with J Bell.
All right, here we go. Couple tasty ones for y'all today. Homeland Security has foiled a plot by a West Virginia man to hack voting ballots. Did you guys hear anything about that?
No.
Yes,
Nope.
I have.
Apparently, the guy's name's Bleefus Wainwright. He's charged with attempting to force a ballot initiative to legalize immediate family marriages in the upcoming election. During questioning, Bleefus ponders, if two dudes can get hitched, why can't me and my sister?
Got a fair point there, buddy. You keep going with that.
Bleefus may be onto something there, you know what I mean?
I feel like
barring
he
the
shouldn't
fact
be on to
His
anything
name is the best.
at all.
of the children with droopy eyes and shit like that.
Oh boy.
That's what happens when you fuck your sister, apparently. You know what I mean? You get kids with
Droopy-eyed kids.
droopy eyes and one big ear.
Oh, man.
Oh, okay, here's another one. Cornell School of Psychology has dropped a bombshell today. Big news, fellas. Huge! Through new advances in technologies, researchers have confirmed that what we've all known for the last 20 years. Rose, in fact, is a selfish bitch, and that there was more than enough room for Jack on that piece of wood.
Yes. Fuck that. There was plenty of room. And she's like, I'll never let go.
I think they
Bitch,
all
you
should
let
have
go.
died. I think they all should have died.
Well, pretty much all of them did die.
Yeah. But Rose didn't.
No, Rose didn't, that bitch.
Yeah, she should have got beat in the face with a chair.
In the
She's
movie,
a
Rose was like super bad, like that. Who's
Like Jonah Hill?
Rose?
What?
What the
Super
what?
bad.
Oh, super bad. Yeah.
No, like the movie Titanic. Rose. Whoever portrayed her in the movie was like really good looking.
Oh, yeah.
Kate
Was
Winslet.
that Elizabeth?
Kate Winslet.
Is that who? Yeah.
Who's
okay.
Kate? Hold on.
What?
I gotta look it up.
You don't remember
Kate
that?
Winslet.
Kate
Gotta look
Winslet.
her up.
She is so sexy.
I think we can all agree the best part of that movie, though, like we said before, is...
The nipple.
What? Whoa, what nipple? I was going to say the guy falling off and his
You only noticed... Art, you only noticed the nipple because when he's drawing her, she is completely butt-ass naked.
Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't show the good stuff, you know.
Yes, it does. It shows the firebox.
He only watched it on TV, so...
Yeah, I'm sorry. I caught it on ABC.
You see? It shows
just-
the firebox. I'm telling
It
you.
does. Oh,
Yeah.
so I have to go back and take a look.
No, I honestly haven't
That's
seen
my
I
new
saw the
favorite
movie,
movie.
She's
movie
bad?
like once.
That's my new favorite movie.
Her?
Oh, yeah.
She's sexy. Yeah. Don't give her.
She's okay. I mean, you guys just made it like she was just amazing.
Dude, she's older than you, and she looks that good.
Exactly.
Double D, you're older than me.
And I look damn good.
She's, dude, that red hair, man, it just does something.
It's it turns me on.
And that
I
accent,
see
too.
her on Titanic right here.
They have a passionate love scene in there. You should take a look at
They
it.
do. Hot, steamy in her old bullshit car.
Yep. Handprint on the window.
She's okay. That's pretty much it. She's okay.
So J Bell,
She's
they show
more than
the.
okay, dude.
Nah,
She's more than okay.
She's definitely
J Bell, so they
okay.
show the firebox. You said.
They show the firebox. You get a glimpse of
was
the
I
firebox
at?
when she's sitting there and he starts drawing her. Because Leo Dio's sitting there and you see his eyebrow raise. He's like,
You see his eyebrow. right?
Yeah.
Turns into Yoda.
I'm telling you, from somebody that has seen the movie 100,000 times, the firebox is in it.
So that's okay. So that's probably the best scene, but the second best, I guess we can agree to, is the guy hitting
the
propeller.
propeller. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, that propeller, that's pretty dope. I'm not going to argue that. That is really good. I'm trying really hard to play My Heart Will Go On for you guys, but my Spotify won't load for some reason.
There it is.
She is definitely only okay.
What?
What? What is wrong with you? She's only okay.
She
You're
is
remorseless.
only okay.
My
Like,
goodness.
I don't know what you guys are looking at, but she is definitely only
Did you
okay.
okay? So did you type in Titanic after? her
Yeah,
name
he's
for the
looking.
search? What? She was so sexy in that movie.
Well, here's one where she actually does have a firebox.
Wait,
out.
let me see.
Full frontal.
Yeah. I don't know what you guys are looking at. She is
hot-ass
only
woman?
okay.
Looking at a beautiful woman
Yeah, she's
7.
without a club thumb. So
You said she's a 7.
7.
I think
Easy.
I think she's a 10 in that movie. I mean, I'll concede maybe 9, but like
She's definitely over 7 in that movie.
10.
Nah, I'm looking at her now. I don't see the firebox either, Jay.
Gal Gadot for me is a 10.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Who's that?
She's a 9.
Wonder Woman.
She's a 9.
Gal Gadot, yeah.
Yeah, she's a 10 for me.
I would say Margot Robbie's a 10 for me.
All of them 10s.
Yep.
Or
Put them all together, make a 30.
no, if anything, it'll be 27.
You know what?
my
For some
God.
reason,
Jeez.
I'm attracted to
Bryce
Anne.
Dallas Howard is a 10 for me. I love
Oh
her.
yeah, I like
I
her.
love her.
I'm super attracted to Anne Hathaway for some reason.
Anne Hathaway she's an acquired taste. Her eyes are humongous.
Her lips are amazing.
Have
the
you ever
best-
seen that movie with her
What?
where she gets completely butt-ass naked?
Sex and Other Drugs.
No, it's not that one. It's like a real fucking like... It's like an earlier movie of hers where she's like a teenager and her friend go to this party in the hood in California or something like that, and she gets railed.
Really?
Damn it, what the hell is the name of that movie? I can't think of it.
I think The Dark Knight Rises is the only movie I've seen with her.
Seriously.
Oh, with Anne Hathaway?
Yep.
She's amazing, man. I mean, she's gorgeous.
Jessica Biel's a 10 for me.
Who's that?
Jessica Biel.
Jessica
She's a 10.
Biel's
Oh,
definitely
yeah.
a 10.
Definitely.
Olivia Munn is a 10 for me.
At first, when you said Jessica Biel, I thought you said Ally McBeal.
Who is that? Calissa Flockhart.
Callista
or some
Flockhart,
shit, right?
yeah.
Yeah, no. But back then, Charisma Carpenter was a 10 for me.
Oh, from
During
Buffy.
that whole spew from Buffy and from Angel. Yeah,
definitely.
Alyssa Milano was a 10 for me back then, too.
Watching that Charmed.
Um,
Or are you going back to, like, who's the boss?
Havoc. Havoc is
Christina,
the name of it.
Christina Milian. Wasn't she on Saved by the Bell? She's still a 10.
Who's Christina Milian?
She was in Love. Was that
She
Love
was-
Doesn't
Love Doesn't Cost a Thing.
I just so this week, probably the first time I watched that movie, and the scene with Nick Cannon dancing at the beach is like my favorite thing ever. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but it's hilarious.
No idea.
It's
You
like,
know, Black Twitter's going to tear us up because we ain't mentioned any black chicks yet.
All right.
Yep.
Did you hear the name of the movie I was telling you?
No.
Havoc.
Havoc.
Yes.
And that's Anne Hathaway.
Yes. Check it out. It's good.
Cute.
All right. So back to the fake news.
cute.
Oh yeah, let's
Yeah.
Speaking in Indiana yesterday, President Trump announced that he will sign a new executive order into office on Monday, making it legal for restaurant patrons with a valid carry permit to shoot other patrons for smacking their lips while eating.
Oh, yes.
Trump claims this is a stain on the moral fabric of dining etiquette and will not continue in his America.
I have to agree with President Trump on this.
I want to say yes, but I have to disagree with. No, I'm just playing. I agree. I like that. I would love to shoot people who smack their lips.
Oh my goodness! I didn't even think it was
When
a
Art
thing
was
anymore.
eating that chicken, I wanted to put a shotgun in his mouth.
That was not smacking. Was that smacking?
No, you're good, Art.
Come on, man.
No,
I
I
think you
still
were just
just wanted to
hungry.
kill
That's what it
him. Yeah,
was.
I
yeah.
gotta tell you, when I'm listening to podcasts, other podcasts, that is like my biggest pet peeve.
What?
When people smack their lips, or like whenever they swallow hard into the microphone.
Wait a minute. Whenever they
Podcast are you
swallow
listening
hard?
to?
Oh yeah, the good ones. That's
How
what
do
I'm
you hear somebody swallow hard?
Brazzers
Dude.
podcast.
Whenever they
Are they in like the
seriously.
middle of like talking and then they're like, hold on a second, gulp?
Let me see if I can do it here.
I did hear it. I did hear you swallow. Don't
Yeah.
ever swallow when there's so many guys in one room.
I couldn't
You
hear
asked to hear it.
From now on, you can't even drink when there's so many guys in one room. There's no more swallowing. You lost your swallow privileges.
Oh man.
Oh my goodness!
Oh man, I'm gonna be salivating then. It's just gonna be. All
right. So moving on, and finally, the last one that I found for everybody. Soldiers being placed along the southern border for the upcoming invasion are being heavily armed, though with unconventional weaponry. A source at the Defense Department has confirmed that soldiers will be equipped with super soakers filled with pumpkin spice lattes and medium chai ventis. They will also be pumping 10,000 watts of Justin Bieber's new record every 200 yards. Human rights activists have slammed these tactics as violations of human decency.
Wow.
I feel
Basic
like
bitches.
I was gonna say if these were like basic white girls, they would love that.
Anti-basic. I mean, no, that's pro
Pumpkin
basic.
spice
bitch.
lattes. That's
That's
amazing.
pro basic bitch.
pro basic bitch.
By the way, I love that video you posted on Facebook, Jay, about
Oh, that dude? The
yeah.
fall thing? Have you
that
guys
was
seen
hilarious.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Oh my gosh.
that? My God. Oh, I eat pumpkin year round.
Oh, that shit was weird.
That's all I got.
All right, that was good. That was good. I like that. All right, so moving on. Double D, you're up.
Yeah, so I don't know how many you guys have experience with this, but I saw an article about microdosing with LSD and magic mushrooms.
What exactly? What micro? It's not taking the
small
full
dose.
dose. It's just a small dose.
Very small dose, and they actually give the quantities in here. But microdosing is taking a very small amount, like more often, as opposed to taking a very large amount to have an actual trip. And this is what the study showed is that it makes people more creative And I'm trying to pull up the article here.
What microdosing does is it allows you to maintain, because when you're tripping, there's two different phases of tripping. There's peaking, and then there's coming down. Peaking is where everything is awesome, everything is vibrant and crazy and stuff like that, laughing, having a great time. Coming down is when all those goofy, dumbass thoughts are in your brain, and you think about the most absurd shit. Like, looking at yourself in the mirror is probably a bad idea, because you'll be wondering shit like, well, why do people have noses? Why does my hand look the way that it does?
Yep.
Just dumb shit like that. But microdosing is allowing you to maintain that peak for a longer period of time, and thusly, like Double D's talking about, have a higher level of creativity. Because that's when you're at your most creative.
It's subtle changes, not hallucinations. So it says microdosing can mean taking 5 to 20 micrograms of LSD or 1/10 to 3/10 grams of dried psilocybin.
What is dried
Magic mushrooms.
Okay.
Psilocybin is the psychoactive chemical inside mushrooms.
So it makes people more creative and wiser, is what this study is showing. There's a theory going around that magic mushrooms is what helped create consciousness for apes, however many years ago, that helped propel apes into humans. Because what it does, it expands your mind. It gives better visual acuity, so that would help with like hunting.
So that should just like you shouldn't even be buying this, huh, Art? Because you're a religious guy. You don't think we evolved?
Yeah. So
I mean, I'm not buying it either. I think it's stupid, but I can see.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting.
I think you could make an argument for it.
Sure. I mean, yeah, I think it's definitely
make an argument for it.
Definitely something to throw its hat in the ring, I think, for consideration. Considering... Go ahead, Jay.
If you believe in evolution, even if you don't believe in human evolution, but if you believe in the evolution of everything else, it makes sense. Not that it... I don't know. Let me back that up. Maybe it doesn't draw a clear line, but it's a plausible line.
Really? How so?
I think so. Because, have you ever taken magic mushrooms?
No.
Okay, well, I will tell you, I am one creative motherfucker if I eat mushrooms. I will tell you 100%. And naturally occurring, like, LSD is a synthetic. It's a man-made thing.
Okay.
Between the both of them, there is a distinct different feeling between the two. LSD is super powerful, but when you get to that part where I said where you come down, it can be pretty fucking horrible too at the same time. Like, it is crazy. And then like how they cure it, a lot of times they'll put like strychnine in it, which is rat poison, and it affects like your muscles and your bones and shit like it. And you just feel awkward and you're all tripping crazy and it's just uncomfortable sometimes. Mushrooms, you don't have any of that. Mushrooms is like peaking for 6 hours and then somebody turns the light switch off. It's done. And you get really good mushrooms, and it lasts a really long time. But there is no like coming down. There's no like that weird like uncomfortable pondering. It's such a unique thing. It's very hard to put into words like what happens when you eat mushrooms.
You sound like you want a mushroom right now.
I would. I would. I really like, and it's been years since I've touched any of that stuff. But it's certainly an experience. And what they're doing now with mushrooms is they're treating people with dementia and Alzheimer's with psilocybin. And they're having very, very good reactions to it.
Yeah. I could see that working very well. It does expand your mind, and going back to the evolutionary aspect of it, if you can imagine an animal like a proto-human psilocybin, and they're already on the verge of gaining consciousness and becoming self-aware, and you just give them like that extra boost is what it would be like. And I mean, just you start thinking thoughts you had never thought before. You start like this article says, and like Jay has been saying, you become more creative. So I mean, I can absolutely see an animal thinking of more newer and creative ways to hunt or to create weapons or something like that.
Would you think they would not shit outside? You think they'll hold it to
Indoor plumbing. Yes, that's when indoor plumbing.
You
Knock
can
on
see
someone's
a lion
door.
running across a safari holding his ass trying to get to a toilet.
I can't do it outside, man.
John, you gotta move. John, open the door.
I think I maybe just kind of corralled like a good way of explaining mushrooms. Like it's all the things that happen to us on a daily basis that like bog us down, cloud us up, get us whatever and stuff like that. Mushrooms have a way of like taking that out for a little while. Like you're clear. Like there's nothing weighing on you. There's nothing like prohibiting you from using your brain at a higher level. And I think that's what's happening.
Yeah, I would say that's a good summation right there. It's pretty good.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with mushrooms or LSD is TV. LSD.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with either of those things, so I mean,
I highly recommend it. You should microdose.
I'm definitely never going to do that.
I highly recommend you at least try.
Oh no,
mushrooms.
I'm okay.
No, I don't
Thank
care
you.
what you recommend. It's not happening.
What if when we go to Chihuahua,
We are not
We
going to
all
Chihuahua, Jay.
we all take mushrooms
No,
Yes, I'm
and
down.
enjoy the desert for its fullest?
Chihuahua's not even a desert.
Well, we'll find a fucking desert.
I just don't want to end up stripped naked and tied to a pole.
We're not going to Chihuahua. It doesn't fucking matter.
It does. It really does. We're going to go to Chihuahua with a bag of mushrooms.
Yeah, you and Double D
Fuck
are going to
yes.
Chihuahua.
Well, it will drag you along in a suitcase.
Weekend at Bernie style. Remember we were going to drug him?
A suitcase? Hold on. Who the fuck thinks of... How are you guys going to get me in a suitcase?
Okay, a pelican case. Fair enough.
All right,
Moving on.
moving on.
Okay, so I know we usually don't talk about sports, but today we are.
Oh, good.
So I want to get you guys' opinion on the whole Le'Veon Bell situation. Last week, I think that James Conner really performed. I mean, this season, I think he's been performing very, very well, and he's pretty much been someone who's really stepped in and has fulfilled his role as the starting running back for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But to me, I can't fathom leaving $825,000 a game.
55.
$855,000 a game on the table. I mean, is it okay? So do you think it's for basically to preserve him, like for his health, or do you think it's really because he can't get the long-term contract that he wants?
Le'Veon?
Yes.
So what are you asking?
I just asked it.
Is what to preserve him? Like,
Him sitting out. Is it? You think it's to preserve him for next year, next season, and probably getting a long-term contract with another team, because you know how injury-prone he is, or do you think he's really that unsatisfied to where he's asking for this money, he didn't get it, and he's just sitting out, and he's just basically a fucking kid in a corner pouting?
I think it's both. Like,
What's he doing?
what is he doing?
Tap me in, remorseless. I'm ready. Tap me in.
Hold on.
He's ready.
Let me get this off real quick. Pause. Look,
Oh,
I think it's both, and the reason why I think it's both, is because he may not be satisfied with the money and he wants more, but I'm pretty sure that his advisor would tell him, look, don't go in, don't do anything that's going to injure yourself because somebody else will give you that money. Jay, you put your hand down. I'm about to tag you in.
tag me in. Tag me in. All right, we're good to go. Here's what it is, man. His plan backfired on him because he sees how well Connor is running right now. So what would a rational person deduce from that? I consider myself rational. Is it's not so much about Le'Veon Bell, not negating the fact that he's a transcendent player. He's a generational talent. He really is. However, would he still be as transcendent behind a different offensive line? The answer is no.
Exactly.
I do not think that he would be. So, with that being said, the only thing that I can come to a conclusion about leaving that kind of money on the table is it's the only way that he can assert some sort of power and control over the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's the only card that he has left to play. The only card he has left to play.
Yeah, you look at guys like DeMarco Murray, when he left Dallas or so and he got to the Eagles, that system, it just didn't work for him. So,
Right.
With a team next year who decides to pick him up to pay, first off, I don't think he's going to get paid that much because like Jay Bell said, who knows how well he'll do.
And
in
he's
a different system.
29 now,
He's,
right?
Well,
No,
I think
he's only like 26.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
okay.
on the wrong side of 25. Just put it that way as a tailback.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
I don't know, man. We've been having this conversation for like maybe a couple weeks now, me and my buddies, and some guys are like, "You should pay the man, fucking pay him." But me, I'm like, you haven't had one healthy season here in Pittsburgh, not one. And like, I understand that Antonio Brown's making what $17 million a year, or something like that, and you want that type of money because you feel that you're a larger asset because you can actually run and catch.
It doesn't matter how you feel, though.
It doesn't.
It doesn't. Who gives a fuck about how you feel?
This is a
You're not Antonio Brown caliber. You're not even in the same position. Like you can't.
I think that he is, though. I really do.
I don't think
Caliber?
so because
I think he's the caliber.
I think shelf life wise, running back shelf lives
you're
are
right.
significally shorter than wide
Well,
receivers.
yeah, that's-
so
Right there,
you're
you are
not in
correct,
the same
yes.
position.
Yes.
Right, and that's why I can't fault him for trying to make a move to take care of himself long term. Because
He's on his Cardi
especially-
B making money moves.
especially for a tailback, because the longevity of that position is not nearly as long as some of the other positions in the NFL. I get that. I understand that. But what he did is he took a calculated risk, he gambled, and it backfired a little bit because what it really shows is he's that dominant of a player behind probably you can make an argument that that's the best offensive line in football right now.
one of the best lines.
Or at least the top 5.
One of the best lines, yes.
I think it's at third best on what's the name? It's like the third best line.
It changes all the time. Some weeks, Pro Football Focus will have it number 7. Another week they'll have it the 3rd. Another week they'll have it the 5th. It just depends. But you see how that offense has opened up once they really got Connor consistently running. It opens everything up for Antonio Brown, Juju, and everybody.
Yes.
So it's that line that really is driving that. So I don't think that he's going to get the kind of money that he wants in the open market come March. And then I don't think the Steelers would be interested in retaining his services because of what they have in James Conner. And I'm not saying that James Conner is on the same level of Le'Veon Bell because he's not.
But he's
He
getting
really
the job
isn't.
done. He's getting the
But
job
he's
done.
fucking good.
Yes. Yes, he is.
He's still good. He's way above average.
And he looks like one of the best in the league right now. I mean,
Yeah.
he looks
who
like
else, Who else is running better than him right now, barring Todd Gurley?
Probably
Kareem Hunt, maybe?
Hunt, maybe Kamara. No,
No,
Kamara's
Kamara-
not even doing
Kamara's
that well
not
right
easy.
now.
Yeah, he's
Kamara
on the
hasn't
down.
done that well this year. Hunt is sketchy at best in that offense. Nobody is putting up the numbers consistently that Connor has been over the last 3-4 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, so that brings me to ask, because we were talking about this here as well. Have you seen what Le'Veon Bell has been doing with his money or so, as far as him being a rapper and buying all these chains and cars and shit? So,
Can I just say something? And I don't have a whole lot of skin in the game and understanding rap. I like rap a lot. I think he's fucking terrible.
he's a terrible rapper. He is.
I think he's horrible.
He's like
What kind
Shaq.
of rap is he doing?
It's like modern rap, like the Migos, all that type of stuff that's going on today. It's like, it's not like conscious rap. It's not. He has no message. He's just like, oh, my chains, my cars. Like, it's that type of rap. Yeah.
I want to hear this, actually.
Like his message is bad, but his flow is even fucking worse, dude. It is horrible.
He sounds like he just picked up a I Learned How to Rap handbook and only
for
read
dummies?
the introduction.
Like, it's literally like, do you remember Shaq rapping?
Shaq D.
Whoa.
It's almost on that level. Wait a minute.
I'm not going to let you disrespect Shaq. He went triple platinum. I'm not going to let you disrespect Shaq. Early Shaq rap. Early Shaq rap Shaq was the man.
Yeah, right.
Early Shaq rap?
Shaq was the
Early
man
Shaq
on the
rap.
court. He was not the man in the studio.
He was not the
Phil is
guy.
my father because my biological wouldn't bother.
He's like, eat a dick, eat a dick, eat a dick, eat a dick. I'm Shaq.
I feel like there's others that have transitioned over to rap, but
It just doesn't work. Like,
none are coming to mind right now.
well, Allen Iverson, I think, went over for a second, right? I know he had the Reebok commercial that was.
Allen Iverson's rap was horrible. There's
Allen
not a lot
Iverson's
of
rap was
there's not
better
a
than
lot of
Le'Veon Bell's.
basketball
It was
players that like Damian Lillard's is decent. Shumpert,
Oh, those guys. I don't even know they rap.
he's decent. But other than that, I mean, there's not a lot of basketball players that rap that actually sounds good. Besides Damian Lillard and Shumpert, I can't think of any other ones.
Somebody's got to be real. With
They should
Le'Veon
put
Bell.
Kawhi
Somebody's
on-
gotta
on a
put him
track.
straight up, put him back in his lane. Be like, listen, dude, like, you're a fucking phenomenal football player. You sound like a goddamn moron behind the mic. You sound mildly retarded.
Like, if I was his producer, I would not let him. I wouldn't let him enter the studio. Like, you're not coming in here. Why? Because you suck, and I care about you, and I
He
don't
would
want
just
you to.
grab a football and just charge through the door like it's 4th and 1.
Hey guys, Double D here, and let's face it, you're a loser. Yeah, yes you. You don't have any friends. And here's why this is a problem. Because after you've downloaded this episode and listened to it, you're going to love it so much, you're going to want to go out and download all the other episodes of No Filter from the EMP network. And then after you've listened to those, you're going to love this show so much, you're going to want to run out and tell all your friends about it. But guess what? You don't have any friends. So go out into the real world and make some friends. That way you can tell them all about it. And you can also tell them about our socials where you can hit us up. Hit us up at Twitter at network_EMP. Also on Instagram, EMP Network 412. And also on Facebook, you can like us, EMP Network, and share it with all your friends on there. You know, they say that they're your friends, but they're not your friends. So go out into the real world and make some friends, you weirdo.
Yeah, you're gonna tell them no? That's that whole thing with living in a bubble, right? Like if somebody does say that, I mean, it's gonna be like you're a hater.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not gonna have you in my group anymore.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of people that do that with celebrities.
I was just about to say that. That's funny. We're going to accidentally stumble over another topic. Yeah, like if you disagree with somebody, you're automatically a hater.
Automatically.
Automatically a hater.
It's
I don't
2018
understand.
rules.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's celebrity groupies that hang around them waiting to get a handout or something. Just a little bit of let me touch the hem of your robe kind of thing. And you're not going to do that by disagreeing with them.
No.
Yeah. Well, but that goes back far. Like once you reach a certain stature, I think even if you don't voluntarily get put in a bubble, I think you kind of end up in a bubble. And you end up surrounded by yes people. I think you have to make a conscious decision to have the people that are going to challenge you around you, because everywhere you look, you're going to end up with a yes person. Like that's just the way it is. Mm-hmm. That's just the way it's going to go, because when these people want something from you, they're going to try to butter you up. So yeah, I think as a celebrity, you're going to have to consciously put these people around you.
You have to learn how to channel it, yeah. Because you have all these people around you pumping your asshole full of rainbows, and it's. I'm saying like.
Oh, we know what you're saying.
We've seen your Instagram.
You know what?
The quiet storm.
Counting down, silent protest. 3, 2, 1.
So whenever
this is a much better podcast now.
Well, these guys, they're surrounded by nothing but hype men. That's all they are.
Yeah.
That's all they get. What they really need is they need that old grandma that tells you like it is to be like, honey, that fucking sucks.
Sucks, yeah.
You probably shouldn't do that.
I went to an Atlanta Falcon game. My cousin was dating the sister of one of the Atlanta Falcons at the time. His name is Mike Jenkins. He was a receiver years ago.
I remember him.
Hey, hold on for a minute. Let me pick that name up that you just dropped. You dropped this. Go ahead. You can continue.
I don't think it was that heavy of a name. I think you're good.
I'm good. Okay, but yeah, so I went to a game. I think this was 2006, and we went to Atlanta, and I sat with all the families. So I was like maybe like 2 rows back or so.
Okay,
like,
now he's bragging.
No, well, okay, no, I'm not bragging, but what I'm saying is,
Julio Jones. I had coffee with Julio Jones the morning before they were in the Super Bowl. Shut the fuck
this
up.
was
I had
way.
a pumpkin spice latte with Julio.
I had a North Face on, and I had leggings
North
and
Face.
Ugg boots.
And Uggs. North
And
Face
Uggs.
and up to my Uggs.
But no, but this was the Michael Vick era still, right? And oh my God, I can't say anything, can I today? Anyway,
Sorry, go ahead.
but yeah, so he had like a whole entourage, and these dudes were like, I'd never seen men just brag about one guy like that. You know, like they were, oh yeah, Vic's our boy and all this stuff. Like Mike, and they all had jerseys. It was crazy.
Yeah, okay, so
But
that
those
gives,
were the same guys I think that gave him away during that case, right? It had to be
Yeah.
because I mean, this seemed like that group of guys that was probably. Well, I can't say I just look at them and say they were dogfighting, but this was like probably that group of guys.
Y'all some dog
Piece of
fighting
shits,
ass. Y'all
like-
some
I
dog
know a
fighting
dog
ass
fighter
dudes,
when I
man.
see
look
one,
at
man.
look at you. You look like you got a pit bull trapped in your basement right now, bitch.
yeah, so that gives
kind
you
of shit?
an insight into their mind, I think. Like, they just want to be, everybody wants to be famous, I
Yes.
think, or a lot of people do. So if you
Yeah.
can't be, that football player, you want to be as close to that as you can.
It's possible, yeah.
So, I mean, you do what you can to
sucks,
get
man.
there. And the way to do that is by being a yes man and being a hype man.
I have a lot of friends who've played in the NFL or who still currently play, and I'm not like that. Like they play and that's that. I'm happy for them, and they
Yeah.
make a lot of money or whatever. But I would never use.
But see, we're not
that.
talking about you. We're talking about them.
Yeah.
So what happens is now what you do. You have friends that still play in the NFL. Now, what if you are like? What if you're the only one that says, "Hey, that wasn't the best. That wasn't the best performance you had that day."
Then I'm an automatic hater.
Yeah, and then
Then
you're a
you're the
hater
asshole.
and you're pushed
Yeah.
away and you're the
Yeah.
asshole. But that may be what they needed to hear. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we're talking about. We don't want to change the narrative of the conversation. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about if you are contrary to the popular opinion, be it how bogus the popular opinion may be,
That's
you're a
because
hater.
people can't handle constructive criticism anymore.
Absolutely.
You can't give anybody feedback to make them a better person or better at their craft or whatever it is without, causing waves. And that's fucking sad. That's why people are soft nowadays.
Yeah, that's exactly
Yeah,
right.
yeah, absolutely.
Grow a pair of balls, you fucking bitches.
Stop watching passionate porn.
It is. You know what? I'm not even going to keep defending this.
I have the
Jay
one up
should-
on you with this one.
I think you should.
Hey, what kind of friends are you guys?
You mean like the TV show? Like am I Chandler or Ross or what?
You would 100% be Ross.
Yeah.
Or you'd probably be Chandler. Double D is Ross.
That's
These Ross?
Who am
Yeah.
I?
You're Joey.
how you doing?
You're Joey. You like women and you like to impregnate them.
Pump them full of semen. And then leave them.
Whoa.
And then leave them.
Semen and leave them.
Semen and
That's my
leave 'em.
motto.
Wow.
That's what I live by.
That is
No, but seriously, you know how we all have those type of friends, and I thought this would be a good transition to this subject. You know how we all have those type of friends. Like, what type of friend do you think you are?
Throw out some examples. Like, what are the categories?
An
here?
example would be like, I don't want to give you categories because I don't want to restrict you, but here I'll tell you what type of friend that I think. Hold on. I'll tell you what type of friend that I think I am. I am the goofy one. You know what I'm saying? I am the one that's always going to tell you the truth, whether you like it or not. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think I'm that type of friend. I'm the loyal type of friend. As a matter of fact, I think I'm loyal to a fault.
I
I
think
would
I'm
agree with that.
I think I'm the loyal friend too, but I'm the friend that cares too much.
Yeah.
Who cares what? Like I'm
That's a
the one
fucking
that
fact.
if you tell me, oh, my son's having a birthday party next, I'm going to be there, or I'm going to be the guy who shows up to a funeral and gives money, and no one was like, "Why do you have a cart?" Because I thought this was the right thing to do. Like I'm the caring too much friend. I think, yeah.
I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing, though.
It's not.
No,
I do.
no, absolutely.
I think it's
because
a bad
that
thing.
makes you.
I think it's a detriment. I think it's a detriment to him, not the other person. But at the same time, he can be taken advantage of very easily because of it.
Pause. Yes.
Yeah.
Right, but I'm sure he's aware of that too. So then, if he's aware of it, does that really mean that he's being taken advantage of?
It 100% does, and he may be aware of it, but he may not know when it happens.
I like how we're talking about art like he's not even here.
Like I'm not in the fucking room.
Because he took. Remember
thought he was still having
silent
silent
protesting.
protest.
Yeah, like we were talking about fuck him.
We were talking about fucking him?
Oh wow. Yeah. Passionately.
Yo, this passion thing is going to last forever. This is your quiet storm.
Yeah, I was going to say,
is.
it's payback, bitch.
It is.
I think that I'm extremely loyal at times. Not at times, all the time, but like mostly like I'm the sensible one of my group of people. Like people call me to ask me like my opinion on things, what are my thoughts, advice on stuff. That's where I come. And they look for comedic relief because I'll always find something funny in a fucked up situation. Always. So I think that's where I lie.
That's good. I mean, that's always good to have. I mean, you need levity in situations. So it's good to be, bring that comic relief, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Double D?
Yeah, I don't know. I never really gave it a thought. I guess I guess I try to bring comic relief as well. That's about it. I think it's a weird question if you ask. If you're asking me, which you are.
Why do you think it's a weird question?
I don't know, because I don't like to talk about myself. So I'm very self-analytical. I do analyze myself a lot, but I don't to translate that into words to try and advertise myself. I'm not good at, and I don't like to do.
So you don't advertise yourself because you're self-anal.
Wow. Anal was never in that sentence. I think that was on your mind.
Anal is short for analytical.
So
it is
D?
definitely not.
He's a selfish anus. Okay, so we got that.
Yeah.
Look, he sighs and shakes his head. He always does that.
Sometimes there's no words for the shit that comes out of your mouth, man.
All right. Yeah, I was just curious. That was actually one of my topics that I put up there as like, I was just curious to see what you guys thought of each other, or thought that what type of person you were. But moving on, Jay, you got a topic?
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot lately. I'm kind of interested in what is going on with all this 5G technology stuff. I'm not quite sure that I completely understand it and like what its application is going to be. But like I read an article the other day, like these people out in an Oakland suburb, like have organized themselves because Verizon wants to put these 5G antennas on the telephone poles in their neighborhood. And they've lost their mind. They've lost their mind. Like they got rallies. They're doing all kind of crazy shit. And I just don't know like really what is happening with 5G. Like I've done a little bit of research on it. Apparently like if you look at 4G right now, it's all about the communication time right off the bat. Like 4G right now is like 10 milliseconds. 5G is going to be
the latency.
The latency. 5G is going to be like 1 millisecond. So you're going to have gigabit per second connectivity. And they just did something like overseas where like Norway or something like that had like the fastest time ever recorded. It was like 40 gigabits a second.
Wow.
So is that I'm not seeing how that translates to like talking over the phone. I could see how that would give you like faster internet and shit. How does that translate to like
that's kind of my question.
Who talks on the phone? This is pertaining to internet and data usage. The phone thing, like I said, there's like the 5G wires and 5G antennas and different things like that. I mean, you'll pretty much have the same phone service, maybe a little bit better. What these companies are gearing towards now is the internet, is the data usage and different things like that. Because as you can see, as we grow, the phone usage is less and less. Like I noticed that I talk a lot less on the phone than I do texting people, and I'm pretty sure we all can say
all
that.
attest to that.
Yeah, people use a ton of data.
Exactly.
But I think how I wrap my head around is that I think it's more geared towards like ease of life type things. Like you're going to see a lot of these like self-driving cars are going to go through the roof in major metropolitan areas because you're going to have the bandwidth technology to really make it as safe as you possibly can.
Absolutely.
Navigation is going to go to a completely different level. Like business production, like corporations are going to be able to transfer data, like, and communicate with whatever they need to do. Like it's going to make a huge step. But I just, like we talked about AI and stuff like that a while back. I just I wonder like if it's, I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing, is what I'm saying. Having that much at your fingertips.
Why? Give me some reasons why you think it would be a bad thing.
Well, I don't know. That's what I'm thinking because you have these conversations about artificial intelligence and robotics and stuff like that. This gets it one step closer to being a reality, to have this level of connectivity.
I think it is. I mean, it's going to happen regardless. I always say that you cannot, and you're not going to stop progress in technology. So all this, like AI and everything, it might even be a moot point to even discuss. Is it a good thing or a bad thing in some sense? Because it's going to happen. So if we discuss and say it's a bad thing, you're still not going to stop it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I actually saw, this was, those projections that they project onto a wall, and it's like, makes like a solid wall look like it's moving or something like that. It's like a hologram projected on a wall. I saw one that was, I don't know where it was, but it was projected onto a tower. And it was so amazingly real that it made this tower look like, it was augmented reality is what it is. It made this tower look like it was like coming apart brick by brick and like morphing. And it was like, I was just blown away by this. It was amazing that, I mean, if you didn't know, like if you brought somebody from the 1500s here and just showed them that without explaining anything, that's fucking magic.
Their head would explode. Yeah. You said this is holographic?
Yeah, it's like augmented reality projected onto a flat surface.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
So then I think there's a cautionary tale that comes along with that too. Should we not be concerned with the possibility that could make people more reclusive and introverted to experience their own reality quotations as opposed to legitimate, tangible, physical reality?
Well, even on top of that, like if I'm driving and I see a mountain, I don't want the whole Wile E. Coyote Roadrunner situation if somebody ends up putting an image of that on the mountain and I run right into the wall because they felt like playing a fucking joke.
That's hilarious, though. I'd love to see that.
I think as the technology advances, though, it can be dangerous, though. You know?
Yo, you could. I mean, that just
no. Stop it. We're gonna stop that because all technology can be dangerous. Like but I think that doesn't mean like you have to weigh the good with the bad.
I get that, but I think that there are going to be more people who use it in a way that they can dangerously. I think people will use it dangerously a lot more.
You will always have that, but with no matter what, though.
Yeah, but you can't shut it down because it's still a legitimate conversation that you should be having. You have to have both sides of the spectrum when talking about anything. You really should to really touch all bases. You can't say that, yes, somebody's always going to be using it for ill intentions. It doesn't mean that you still shouldn't have a conversation about it.
I mean, you can have the conversation, but what good would it do?
It helps you build safeguards in the system.
Yes.
See, but this is where you go with hypervigilance. Like, the thing is...
You teeter on that edge. I'll concede that.
Yeah, the thing is, you're always going to have these people that are going to abuse any type of system. Like you'll never not have that. That will always be a thing. But at the same time, you also can't make a system because somebody's going to hack it. Somebody's going to do this. You can try to put up guards for it, but there's always ways around them. Well, I don't know. It may just be because I'm in tech, so I know like the difference, and I like the risk. The risk, usually the risk is worth the reward.
No, I get that.
But you still have to be able to troubleshoot a situation too. You can't nobody's planning for something and not having contingencies built in for that as well. That's just part of the process. And I think that's kind of where like myself, I know I'm coming from, and I think I can speak for Art as well.
Well, yeah, and I like the way. So I think just socially, if you look at the social structure now compared to what it was 10 years ago, you just look at technology. You look at social media. It changes people. It's going to change the culture. I think as we progress with technology, things are going to change. And I mean, I think if you just look at it now, I just think things are, like you said, are very dangerous, with technology. But I think as we progress and we get 5G and AI starts to boom and data science.
Dude,
and
5G is amazing. I'm sorry. Like
I could very easily see the practical military use for the like augmented reality, like you were saying with the mountain. They can make it look like there's a solid object, and
I really don't want to crash into a mountain, though.
Can you imagine using that against your enemy? Like,
having them crash in the mountains.
You'd be naive to think that your enemy doesn't possess the same technology.
So both military branches would just be crashing in the mountains during
well, it can confuse aircraft. Like, say they use it to confuse aircraft and make it look like there's something there or something not there, and then it like the enemy ends up flying their plane into a mountain. Technology is like that always. That and even NASA actually, we get a lot of our technology that we have now, including I'm sure cellular phones, because NASA paved the way with that decades ago. So I mean, I hear people say like why are we giving NASA so much money? Why are we spending money? We talked about this before. Why are we spending money on space whenever we got problems here to worry about? And my argument is because the technology that they break through with and new technology that NASA comes up with, we end up getting that.
Well, money-wise, I think the argument is more of it's less why are we spending money or why are we worried about space. It's like why are we spending so much money with NASA? And we have to spend money here. I think that's the argument.
It's not even that much money. It's like 1/10%, I think, is NASA's budget.
Well, what I was going to say is you can't limit progress. I don't think so. I don't think you can put a price tag on progress.
Hashtag NASA gets shit done.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, there's a whole lot of failures that have to go through these that you have to meet to make these quantum leaps, and that's where all of the money comes from. That's where a lot of spending comes from.
Yeah, and so they kind of take they're the forerunners. They take the brunt of that. They take the hit so that people later on can take the good shit that they came up with.
Yeah, but I guess the argument would be, how exactly are people going to afford the shit that they're coming up with if we don't have the money to buy it with? I'm trying to find the other
because it trickles down. Once they create new technology, then it gets all technology after so much time, it becomes cheaper, it becomes smaller, it becomes better and faster, and they move on to something else, and then we get what they were just working on.
So the average consumer will get
prostitute candy.
What kind of prostitute are you going to?
She gets cheaper and smaller.
Here's the thing, though, dude. Like, look from a macro view of this whole thing. Like, in our immediate lifetime, the iPhone, the original iPhone, was released in what, 2008, 2009?
Original iPhone, 2008, yes.
10 years. Look at how far we have come technologically in 10 fucking years. It's crazy. The advancements we've had in technology in this last decade. It's more than any other decade, ever.
I agree.
And so I say that not to say, technology is going to make things more dangerous. I'm saying the way people will use it, right? So the average consumer, it gives you a lot more options to do things that can be dangerous to society or to yourself or whatever it may be.
And I'm not disagreeing with that. But what I'm saying is you don't want to hamper the progress because of any, like, this phone is good for internet, this phone is good for making phone calls, but if I beat the shit out of you with this phone, it's how I'm using the phone to make it a weapon.
Yeah, I mean, that's a valid point. You're not going to be able to control all that.
Yeah, exactly.
But you still have to plan for the most that you possibly can think of at the time. You do.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with that at all.
Yeah, things will creep up that you're not going to be prepared for, and then you're going to have to scramble to figure out fixes for.
Yeah.
To make it beneficial for everyone. But
there's you guys heard of Boston Dynamics?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they are awesome. I love watching their videos that they always post of the robots. And there's one that they have of a humanoid robot. I'll see if I can post it somewhere. You guys, it's so amazing. It is seriously a humanoid robot that is to be used in construction. I mean, this thing is picking up huge sheets of drywall and everything. It has a drill. It picks up the sheetrock and puts it in place.
It drills it into the studs.
Drills
in the
it
wall.
into place and everything.
Wow.
And and that's a good use for it. But then you can also see somebody putting a gun on that
exactly
and putting it
right. So it's the
into
ways,
battle.
Yes, the ways that
exactly.
technology will be used by some of the assholes
Absolutely,
out there.
yeah. I mean, it's
or
good and bad.
Or you're taking a career away from somebody.
Yeah.
Well, I say this time and time again. You're not going to stop that. I get a little bit irritated when people say they don't use the self-checkout line at the grocery store because it takes away. We might have even talked about this before.
We have.
Yeah.
We have.
So no need to rehash it, but
I mean, but I get what they're saying, and usually, like, I agree with you, Double D. You can't really stop progress, but at the same time, you do have to feel for these people. Like, granted, you may not have to go through it or anything like that, but this is sometimes all they have. Like, especially like farmers and different things like that. Like,
yes,
in these little jerkwater towns, like that's all they have.
okay. So for military purpose, I mean that's a good example of replacing humans, right? That's less human casualties if you put robots on the front line.
For military purpose, yes, I understand that.
I
But
agree with that.
What you do is you're taking in other areas, like you're talking about the self-checkouts. And I use self-checkouts. I'm not going to sit here and bullshit.
Shit, I use them all the time. Fuck them.
But like, there's something to be said for that, because when you take away a human's purpose, you take away a piece of their soul. I really believe that. Like, if you don't have meaning and purpose in what you're doing, you take away a part of them. You can laugh all you want to. It's 100% true.
You didn't see what Double D just did.
What did he do?
He like kind of stabbed himself in the heart and faded
Part of my
back.
soul
like
just
a
died.
dagger.
So, was there anywhere in your fake news about Trump sending these humanoid robots down to the southern border
No,
for protection?
Maybe my next fake news. I'll work on that.
Make sure you do your research in your Bulgaria embassy.
It's the University of Bulgaria. It's not an embassy.
Oh, okay. Moving on. So I was watching all of this news and different things like that. And you know what really pisses me off? The whole...
Whenever there's a plot hole in a porn movie, just can't get past it.
Or when Domino's Pizza's willing to fix the potholes if your pizza doesn't get to you on time.
I would love... I don't even like Domino's, but I would do that. I would call Domino's just for potholes.
How would that
Especially in
conversation
Wilkinsburg.
go?
Especially
Hey,
in
fucking Domino's, my pizza's supposed to be here 10 minutes ago, and he hit this fucking pothole down there in the street, and now there's cheese all over the lid of the box. Yeah, what the fuck you gonna do about that?
Lit up the pot.
Sorry about that. We're going to send pit crew out there so that way they can take care of the hole, and we're going to give you a new pizza.
Pit crew.
They pop the trunk. They have a shovel with some asphalt.
Out there.
Shovel
Looks like
asphalt.
fucking NASCAR out on Vaughn Boulevard.
Can they do that and still get your pizza there within under 30 minutes?
That would be crazy.
Fixing potholes.
Professional
along the way.
pit crew.
It's going to take forever for that pizza to get there on that asphalt paver, though.
No, they
I can't
just
take
have
the-
they just have a bunch of people jumping out the trunk, just throwing tar and asphalt on it, and just hurry up and covering it up. They have a little dude with like a squeegee, just smooth it out, and then they just go.
Ouija.
They have like the what is that in the Olympics whenever they're sweeping in front of the curling? They got to sweep in front of
in front of the yeah.
They have somebody with like a asphalt bomb, and they slide it down the street, and the other dude's just curling it.
I gotta tell you, every week when I'm coming here, and I'm going down 28, and there's construction, and it just pisses me off. So I don't know if I want to sit through Domino's trying to fix potholes.
Construction used to piss me off. It doesn't now though, because you know what it is. Like I drive down 279, and like it was shitty, and then I like seen it gradually progress and just become really good, and I was like, hey, sometimes construction works.
Nah, fuck that.
Nah, that's you getting fucked in the ass one too many times, and then you're like, I guess it doesn't hurt anymore.
No,
Yeah.
let me
Not
explain
that
something
bad.
to you. Yeah, but
I'm ready for it.
28
I'm
has
actually
never been
starting
good.
to
As
enjoy
long as I've
this.
been driving, 28 has always been terrible.
Always.
But it's the construction on the bridges.
well, I'm actually not talking about 28. I was talking about 279. 28's pretty bad. I don't remember there being construction in 28 though. But then
28
again,
always has
construction for
I don't-
every
I don't-
28,
I-
270, everywhere has construction
28
for
does
years.
not have construction. Go
Are you
down
serious,
28
dude?
right now.
Right.
I mean,
I
where
just
you
drove
live,
28
like,
here.
upward, yeah, but coming from downtown to
Okay,
here.
that doesn't negate the fact that
no,
there's
but
construction
that's,
on 28.
okay, so that's why I'm
He's
putting
like,
parameters.
Anything outside of my sexosphere, I don't pay attention to.
Sexosphere. That's why I'm putting parameters. Yeah, like
Doesn't
where
exist.
where I'll say
28 always has construction. Let's put it that way.
28. I mean, I don't know.
It
Like,
always
that's the thing.
does.
I don't go out that far.
It's not that far. It's literally probably 3 minutes down 28 from you.
From me? Where?
Fucking 3
Not
minutes
at-
down the road.
Not at
from you.
Waterworks. 3 minutes down the road is Waterworks.
Okay, dude.
It is.
Anyway,
Okay.
it's the construction on all the bridges right now. I live like in the city, so like trying to get to the eastern side or trying to get downtown things.
There is
fucking
always construction on that Liberty fucking bridge.
Liberty
man.
Bridge, 10th
Liberty
Street Bridge.
has
I mean, you
crazy
name it.
construction.
Every bridge has construction. There's always
Yeah.
one lane. I mean, it's terrible. It's like, why can't they just fix one first? And then, because they're all parallel. What the fuck? Like, I don't get it, man.
Yeah.
Domino's, help us out.
Domino's, help us out.
So what were we talking about?
Dominoes and potholes.
Oh yeah. Oh okay. So like I was watching the news, and what really was annoying me is like there are these mass shootings and bombings and different things like that, and we talk about and we do it as well. We talk about people being mentally ill and how to prevent these situations. But it made me pose a question, because I see this a lot in like the news, and I see this a lot just in conversation in general, and I wanted to get you guys a standpoint on it. Should there be amnesty for mentally ill people who pull these heinous acts?
I think that they should be tried accordingly, knowing what their deficiency is. And that's not a popular opinion, but you can't. If somebody's never received treatment or never had effective treatment, like, they deserve the right to have that.
Try to expand on that a little bit more.
Okay, so you're an individual that has completely fell off of the radar. There were signs in you as a child that something wasn't right and stuff like that, but you just slipped through the cracks because of people just didn't give a shit, or didn't have enough wherewithal to generally just pay attention to what your situation is. You grow up, you're jaded, you're cynical your entire life. Something bad happens that you created. You do something. You blow up a building or something like that. Okay? You are at fault for that. But there is a level of culpability that extends beyond that, because you should have had appropriate intervention prior to you ever getting to that point. Because there are enough people in your life at that point, up until that point, that could have helped out in some capacity.
Okay, I get what you're saying. So just taking consideration taking consideration their mental illness in the punishment. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm not saying, like, And here's the slippery slope. It's like, because people will hear that and they'll say, well, what you're saying is, these people should go off scot-free. No, I'm not. They should be punished for what they did. However, simultaneously, they should receive the appropriate treatment for whatever their diagnosis may be. And that's the problem that we have nowadays, because mental health treatment in our correctional facilities is a fucking joke to begin with. And number two, we don't really have any facilities really, especially in our state, to deal with criminally insane people.
What do you think about this, Jay? I was wondering I wanted to get your thoughts on this, like with the recent shooting in Squirrel Hill. That man, I mean, there's an argument to be made that it was mental health, and that obviously a sane person does not do that. Most sane people have that checks and balance system.
Yeah,
in
they
your
don't
mind.
have that type of malice in them.
Well, here's my point is that was definitely anger and racially motivated. That to me was not mental illness that made him do that. That was hatred and anger towards Jewish people.
So let me frame this a different way for you. You are capable of having that level of anger and to be able to be calculated enough to use racially motivated means to achieve your end goal and still have mental health issues. That's why we have psychopaths. That's why we have sociopaths. People that generally know what the difference between right and wrong is, they just don't care about the consequences. Yeah. That's a mental health issue. And here's the rub on that. Because early intervention with people like that is so difficult. The way the laws are written right now, a kid cannot receive that type of diagnosis until they reach a certain age. I believe it's like 14 or 13, maybe 16 something. No, it's not 13. It's 14. Okay. It goes hand in hand with when you're able to sign for your own medical stuff. So I believe it's 14. However, there are signs there prior to that. Like I'll never say 100% equivocally one way or the other, but more often than not there are signs there. It doesn't just turn on like a fucking light switch. The whole light switch theory happens where there's that mental break. Something just pushes these fucks over the edge.
Like Michael Douglas.
The consequence doesn't really matter as much anymore.
Yeah.
Art, what do you think?
I mean, it's tough. I think
you should speak into the mic.
I think you should be tried accordingly, just like Jay Bell said. I mean, there are a lot. I think majority of these people have mental health issues that commit these things. Like you said, it just depends on what pushes them over the edge. There more than likely were signs leading up to it. However, if you take out 50 fucking people in a club or so, granted you may have a mental health issue or whatever, I think you should be tried for murder, of course. However, like I don't know if they figure out that it was something that stemmed from mental health, I don't think you should be granted the fucking the chair.
Yeah,
I think you should probably get life or something like that. So I think that it kind of should weigh that.
I don't know. I mean, we can go ahead and expound on that example. I think you should die. I honestly think,
dying and you being locked away forever. What's the difference?
One you're alive and one you're not.
Well, granted, I guess the government has to pay more or so because of the jail system, and they have to feed you and everything like that. But you're taken out of society either way.
I don't know, man. That's just the situation. And this is something that I told Double D, and this is an unpopular opinion as well. But honestly, if you plan on grabbing the gun and taking out 50 people, the first thing that you should do is you should turn that gun on yourself.
Yeah, we had different views on that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, first of all, ideally, if you are planning on taking yourself out, just do that before you take 50 people out. Just kill yourself.
Yeah.
Instead of that was a horrible thing to say. That
was
come out.
Well, I said it first, so but I agree with that. I do.
But
I'm
instead
sorry,
of taking innocent lives and then your plan is to kill yourself afterwards.
Yeah.
Like, just don't take the innocent lives.
Yeah, I think you're such a pussy if you kill yourself afterwards. Like I have more respect for people who give themselves up to the cops and deal with the time.
You shouldn't have respect for people to do shit like
well,
that
no,
at all.
I don't have respect for people who take out and murder people. Like, take out a fucking whole club or, some church or something like that. However, I have more respect for you if you come out with your hands up opposed to offing yourself. You're such a pussy if you do that.
This sounds insensitive, but I don't really give a fuck how mentally ill you are if you kill 50 people. I don't give a fuck how mentally ill you are.
I think it's easy to say that you should turn the gun on yourself, but you're missing the biggest point of it all. They don't possess the ability to rationalize that. Okay, I'm going to kill 50 people and then take myself out. I should just take myself out first and then be done with it. Narcissists, like the narcissistic component to this, it prevents them from thinking like that. It really does.
That's okay.
So, it's nice. I mean, we could sit here and
in a perfect world.
You could save, all these tragedies and stuff like that, but it just doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
So, and where we disagreed, Remorseless, is you think the ultimate punishment is for them to die right then and there?
What do you mean? Like, if they're going...
Like, when they kill themselves, like you said they should turn the gun on themselves, right?
Oh, no, yeah, that's... I remember the conversation now.
Yeah, I said maybe I'm a little bit more vengeful, I think is the word I used.
You said vengeful.
Yeah, because to me that's too easy. To me the greatest punishment is after you've done something wrong is to sit in self-hatred and guilt and shame,
right,
and wanting to die but not being able to. That to me is the ultimate punishment, and that is what I think people should get instead of taking the easy way out of just killing themselves.
What a better way for justice to take its foothold than for somebody with a mental health issue to be charged criminally, receive a criminal sentence for it, get the help that they receive, and then have to live the rest of their life with whatever they've done.
I agree with that.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so...
So I don't think you should, like you were saying, Remorseless, like, oh, just turn the gun on yourself. Nah, fuck that. Deal with this as the mind that you had going into it, deal with it.
Yeah, that's good. We talk about responsibility and accountability.
Yeah, exactly.
You need to be held accountable for what you just did.
Well, what I'm saying from that standpoint is one life is better than 50.
I get that. And in the perfect world,
and
yes.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking. I'm speaking more towards in the perfect world.
Right.
Obviously, that's not going to happen. Yeah. But, I'm just saying one life is better than 50 lives.
Yeah.
If you're going to kill yourself, you should really consider, if you're going to kill 50 people, you should really consider killing yourself first.
Not to say that it doesn't happen, because, honestly, Remorseless, it does happen sometimes. There are people that have homicidal thoughts that end up killing themselves rather than killing other people. But the difference in that is that their suicidal thoughts outweigh their homicidal intentions.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. That's because that's kind of like you can't prove a negative, so it's like you can't prove how many suicides could have turned into these mass shootings. That's an interesting thought.
All right. Yeah, that's a good topic. It was just one of those things where, like, I don't like the whole aspect of giving people leeway because of the whole mental health situation after they do something heinous. Now, before, because we talk about prevention. We don't really talk about the punishment that they should get. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but even still, I think if they are able to detect that you have a mental health issue, I don't think that you should be given the chair just right away because you off 50 people. That's kind of just what I was saying.
All right. Well, yeah, that's pretty much all we have today. But we do have a new segment. It's called Recommendations. This is where we actually we recommend everything or any and everything. This isn't just podcast. This isn't just this is everything: podcast, music, entertainment, movies, anything that you think that something's not getting enough light. This is the time that you recommend it. Or it's going to recommend some football shit. I'll go first. For example. I am actually going to recommend a podcast. This is actually a Pittsburgh-based podcast, just like we are. This is called That Broadcast. And Liz Victory is the host of that broadcast, and it's actually a really good podcast. She talks. She has a pretty decent standpoint with like activism and just art and different things like that. And I recommend it. Not that dickhead art, but just regular art. But yeah, I recommend you guys check it out, see what's going on with it. She talks about like political rallies and just a whole. She's way more political than we are. She's a little bit more serious than we are. You know, we're assholes. So if you want a more serious podcast but still, you know, pretty witty, yeah, check it out. That broadcast.
Hey, I watched some documentary on Netflix lately. They have one for the 90s, which was fantastic. Goes all through. I think I can't remember how many, maybe 6 episodes, but it details different aspects of the 90s. And then they have one for the 80s, 70s, and maybe even the 60s. But the 80s one is fantastic as well. Gives you insight into the Cold War. And for anybody out there that who is just very pro-communism, watching that will give you a very good insight into all the communist countries and the people trying to flee communism. And getting shot for doing so, and how they risk their lives to escape communism. Just maybe give you a little insight into that.
I listen to like a lot of religious stations and things of that sort. However, but a podcast that I also listen to is called The Hidden Brain. It's an NPR podcast, and it's similar to ours. So I keep it short and sweet. I think it's something that people will want to listen to. Especially if you like the No Filter podcast.
That's good. Jay?
I actually have 2 recommendations. My first recommendation is please stop listening to Le'Veon Bell rap. It's horrible. Don't allow this man to continue.
That was going to be on your closer.
In the airwaves. And my second recommendation is it's along the same lines of what Double D was talking about. It's a show on Netflix. Everybody has seen the first season of Making a Murderer. I highly recommend watching the second season.
Yes, it is amazing. It is insane.
Really good. It is really well done. And I mean, there's always going to be bias in a lot of these things, but there is some new information that has come out that really pushes things in a different light, and it shows you how kind of corrupt the system can be if left unchecked.
I still haven't watched the first season.
Watch the first one and then immediately get into the second
one. Okay.
Yes.
Sounds good.
It's worth it. There's also one art too that you might be interested in. It's called Evil Genius. It's about that shit that happened in Erie, just north of us. With that bank robbery where the guy's head blew up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Is that also on Netflix?
That is also on Netflix.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, but other than that, we'll move to closers real quick. I'll go first. I mean, J Bell, your fake news was really good. I liked it.
Thank you.
I've never done LSD or shrooms or anything like that. I didn't grow up in that era, that time, and plus, I was raised to be a dealer, not a doer. So, I mean, I don't do either though, just for the record. But I was raised around the dealers, not the doers.
I'm a hustler,
so
baby.
I'm not necessarily sure how I would feel about doing those type of drugs, and I don't want to do them. Le'Veon, just come to the Jets. That's all. Just come to the Jets.
You might get it.
Nah, we don't want Le'Veon Bell. We got Isaiah. He's doing great, but he's not going to get his money in Pittsburgh. So he's going to have to decide what's going to happen. Like, he just keeps playing around. I believe, like I said, I believe that I am that type of friend, that real loyal friend, that loyal to a fault. In the words of Royce the 5'9", I'm like royalty around y'all. Down the fall with people I feel as loyal as me, which is probably why loyalty is my downfall. Fantastic. And you heard my stance on the mentally ill. Now, I do agree with J Bell. I do think that their mental illness should be taken into consideration. But if they're on death row, keep them on death row. Don't take them off of death row. Like just, sometimes it'll take more years. Just give them a couple more years to sit on death row and reflect before,
Before they shit themselves?
Yeah, what the fuck was that? Was that
that's the hang. Anyway,
okay.
go
Nice.
ahead.
I don't know if
Double D.
they hang people anymore. Okay. Yeah, I actually I loved your fake news this week as well, Jay. Good job on that. Did well.
Thank you.
I recommend microdosing. I recommend magic mushrooms. Honestly, I would stay away from LSD though. I've done I've done a lot more LSD than I've done magic mushrooms, and just anything with drugs being man-made, things like Molly, ecstasy, LSD. I would highly recommend staying away from. Maybe once or twice, but it is definitely some dangerous shit.
Oh my gosh.
And let's see here, Le'Veon Bell. I don't know much about you, dude, but I am cordially inviting you onto the No Filter podcast so you can sit down and talk with me and tell me about yourself, bro. Because I don't know anything about you.
Wait, hold up. Back. What did he say?
He invited Le'Veon to the No Filter podcast to learn more about him.
Yeah, just have a 1-on-1, bro, or a 4-on-1.
Whoa, pause.
Easy.
All right. Easy. And you know what? Whenever you were talking about the people on death row, that reminded me of another article I saw about James Whitey Bulger got killed recently. I don't know if any of you saw that, but he's been on death row.
I don't see it, but yeah, I know
and he just got transferred to a new prison in West Virginia, and he got beat to death.
Maximum security prison or something like that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he got beat to death within like hours of being there.
That's awesome.
All right.
Okay. That's awesome. Where was I going with that? I was leading to, I think, a better fitted punishment for mass murderers and is stewing in your own shame, grief, guilt, and everything like that. However, if the person is truly mentally ill, that person needs help, and like Jay was saying before, the best thing to do is intervene early, and I highly doubt that somebody like that is going to ask for help. So I think a better way to approach this is talk to everybody else out there. If you know somebody like this or is prone, maybe they're showing some signs, maybe try and get them some help, because like I said, I don't think they're going to ask for it. That's all I got.
And I'll piggyback off that because I'll just work from the bottom up. Pause. So I think that there should be. I don't think that the punishment should be death. In those cases where there's mass murders taking out 50, 60, 100 people. I think the biggest punishment is anything psychological. So where you have to think and you have to reflect on what it was that you did. I think that's one of the biggest punishments there. So I think, if you're an individual, if you're diagnosed with a mental illness and you happen to commit a crime of the sort, then honestly, I think that you should just spend the rest of your life, rest of your days reflecting on it and just be a lifer. As far as Le'Veon Bell goes, you don't come from a $15 million home. So I don't understand what this whole thing is with you not participating and losing money because you feel that your worth or you feel that your value exceeds anyone else's. You're an injury-prone guy. You've been hurt every season you've been in the league, man. And you're on the wrong side of 25. Take what you can get and leave it there, man. I understand you want to set the stage for running backs, but I think the running back that's next to him is Shady McCoy, right? That's underneath him, and he makes half of what is being asked of Le'Veon Bell. At the end of the day, man, you're not going to get that money here. So if it takes you leaving, then we thank you for your services, my man. But it is what it is. I know nothing about LSD or shrooms, so I don't even know if I want to go into closing with this one here. And I don't know, just fake news as usual. J Bell, man, it was great, man. I really enjoyed it. So that's all I have.
Jay, did you go?
Not yet. Let's get real for a second. Lev, drop the mic. And not in the way that everybody talks about it right now. Just let it go. Enough is enough.
You're not a top 5 MC.
You are not. And if we're being honest, if we're keeping it real, like, you're never going to be. Surround yourself with some different people that actually will give you an honest opinion. Because it's trash, buddy. It's not good at all. Like, it hurts me to listen to it. I highly recommend mushrooms. They're delicious. They make you super creative. It allows you to use your brain, like I said earlier, unfettered, unhinged, in a good way. So, I'm down for that. I guess we'll wait and see what happens with the 5G stuff. Hopefully it's beneficial, more beneficial than it is a hindrance to people more from like a societal perspective. And again, like, you're never going to get anything different from me when it comes to mental health. Like, it takes a village, guys. It takes a village for us all to make it through all right, and to be able to have our best shot at really minimizing the bad things that happen in this world. And I think that, like I've said before, like, it's always happened, but it happens with more frequency now because we are not as good as we used to be at taking care of each other. That's all I got to say.
I just had a thought while everybody's doing their closers. What if we treated these mentally ill people with LSD or magic mushrooms?
I think that we would probably have shots with Nerf guns then. Which I would be okay with.
Yeah. All right. I think that just about wraps it up for us here on the No Filter Podcast.
Yeah. You were listening to the No Filter Podcast. I don't understand why Double D didn't finish closing, but yeah, follow us on all of our socials. Other than that, I mean, signing off. This is Remorseless. Oh, thank you for listening. Share what you hear. Don't forget to email us at
empnetwork412@gmail.com.
All right, signing off. This is Remorseless.
Me, Double D.
The Quiet Storm.
J Bell.
All right, man. Thank you for
think
listening.
you're big time? Oh, do you, huh? With your self-proclaimed hot topics, mediocre discussions, cookie-cutter charisma, non-personal personalities? That's just all cute, but this is No Filters. We can give a fuck less. Don't panic. We'll only sort out what's what. And after you've realized you're at the bottom of the hill and you can't see us, you can reach me, Art, and the rest of the No Filters family at Facebook, EMP Network, Instagram, EMP Network 412, no spaces, and Twitter at network_EMP. Man, fuck this. I'm out.
Art, where you going?